The Odyssey, Book 1, Ithaca and Olympus. Homer, the blind poet, begins the epic with an invocation to the Muse. Sing to me, O Muse, of that man of many troubles, Odysseus, skilled in all ways of contending, who wandered far after he helped sack the great city of Troy. Sing through me and tell the story of Odysseus' suffering, his trials and adventures, and his bloody homecoming. Zeus, the king of all gods, is sitting on his throne in Olympus, and he says, "These mortals do love to blame their sorrows on us gods, don't they? But they cause most of their own troubles. Look at Aegisthus killing King Agamemnon after we warned him not to. What did he expect?" Athena, goddess of battle and wisdom, will help Odysseus. She loves him, and she's ready for him to come home 5 years after the end of the Trojan War. She says to her father, "It's true, father. He was justly slain, Aegisthus was, by young Orestes, Agamemnon's son. But what of that great man Odysseus? Does he deserve to live out his days trapped and groaning on the island of Ogygia, far from his home in Ithaca, held there by the sea nymph Calypso? What do you have against Odysseus, father?" Zeus is shocked by Athena's words. He says, "My child, what strange remarks you let escape your lips. Could I forget that wily hero Odysseus? You know I bear Odysseus no grudge, but Poseidon does hate him for blinding his son Polyphemus the Cyclops. But come now, let us take up the matter of Odysseus' return. Poseidon must relent. He cannot thwart the will of all the other gods." Athena replies, "Oh, father, if it now please the blissful gods that Odysseus should reach his home again, then let Hermes, the messenger god, go and tell Calypso to send the hero Odysseus home. For my part, I'll go to Ithaca and see Odysseus' son Telemachus. I'll rouse the boy's courage to resist that pack of wolves, the shameless suitors who harass his mother Penelope and consume his wine and cattle, feasting in Odysseus' palace, abusing the custom of hospitality." So on page 5, Athena whoops down from Olympus using her godly powers. This is Athena in disguise as Mentes, a sea captain. Athena is there to visit Telemachus and make him feel more courageous, rather than like a little kid in the middle of all these grown and experienced men. These are the suitors who have invaded Odysseus' palace. Their purpose is to put pressure on Odysseus' wife Penelope to marry one of them. The suitors are described negatively as being rude, slovenly, disrespectful, and ungrateful. They take advantage of the ancient Greece custom of hospitality that allowed for exploration. You welcomed guests, fed them, and treated them kindly, not violently. So on page 6, you see the suitors just kind of hanging out, chilling, not paying for anything, not bringing anything in return, and just eating up the stores that Odysseus left for his family. Now, this guy in the corner is really Athena in disguise, and she's going to tell Telemachus that she's a captain, Mentes. First time we see Telemachus, Odysseus' son, he's kind of daydreaming off in the corner. He's never met his father because his father left the day he was born. So Telemachus immediately, every time he sees someone new, he's hoping of news of his father. So he rushes to greet him and show him a hospitality. Telemachus says, "Greetings, stranger. Welcome to our feast." Telemachus is young. He's only 17 years old. He's inexperienced, and he's daydreaming of his father when the epic begins. We're going to track and trace his coming of age. He's going to grow up in these first 4 books. He's going to become more like a man. He has been raised by his mother, grandmother, a maid, and an old swineherd servant. Most of the young men went to war with Odysseus 17 years before. So Telemachus tells Mentes, "Come in, eat with me. There'll be time for you to tell your errand later." Page 8. The suitors are conversating and feasting without a care, and Mentes is washing up before talking with Telemachus. A female maid is serving the men, part of the ancient Greek customs. We're going to be tracking and tracing the role of women and how women are depicted in the Odyssey. Ancient Greeks considered themselves civilized. They valued being clean and following the rules of good behavior. Even though they didn't have writing yet and they often fought bloody wars, they did consider themselves to be a civilized race. Suitors are getting drunk. They're refusing to leave the palace. They're partying. They want Penelope to choose a new husband, and they won't leave until she does. Telemachus says to Mentes, "I hope it won't offend you if I speak frankly. It's easy for these men to be light-hearted when they feast on the goods of another, a better man too, my father Odysseus, that'd have cause for grief if he returned. But tell me, sir, who are you, where are you from, and what brings you to Ithaca?" "My name is Mentes, captain of the Taphians. I am an old friend of Odysseus. You must be his son by the looks of you." "You knew my father? He left for the Trojan War when I was only a baby." "Oh, I knew him. I was at Troy myself. We fought together many times, side by side, against the best men of Troy." "Your father had no equal for cunning and few for strength or skill in battle." Mentes, or really Athena in disguise, wants to give Telemachus hope that Odysseus will return to Ithaca in hopes to motivate him to not be so passive and to take a more manly role, to grow up a little. Mentes says, "I came here because I heard Odysseus was home. I see the gods delay him, but he'll come. Never is great Odysseus dead." Telemachus looks sad and says, "I wish I could believe that, but it's been 17 years. He must be dead, rotting on some foreign shore, or his skeleton resting at sea, picked clean by the fish." "Oh no, not Odysseus. He'll make it home. But tell me, why do these dogs feast like this in your father's great hall? So greedy and arrogant. When my father didn't return from the war, these lords of Ithaca and the islands around came here seeking to marry my mother, Penelope. So famed for her wisdom and beauty, she refuses them, but they will not leave." Bitterly you need Odysseus then. I wish we saw him standing armed and helmeted there in the doorway, looking the way he did when I first knew him. These men would wish for faster legs. But why just wait? Get rid of these thieves. Call the islanders to assembly. Invoke the gods. Call in the suitors to disperse. Then take a good ship with 20 oars and go abroad for news of your father. Go to Pylos, home of the wise King Nestor, and then to Menelaus at Sparta, the red-haired king, last of all the Achaeans to come home. So we need to do some inferring. Why does Mentes and Athena want Telemachus to do these 3 things? Go see these 3, get a ship, call an assembly, go and visit King Nestor and King Menelaus. How will this help Telemachus become a man? If you hear Odysseus is alive, you can hold out another year. Or, if he is dead, you can build a burial mound, burn his gear, and give him the funeral honors due a great hero. I must go now, but remember my words. I will, and then poof, Athena just disappears. Telemachus looks confused. Now the suitors are still partying, right? Telemachus must be wondering what just happened. They have a poet there entertaining, singing songs about the Trojan War. So this is Homer putting himself in his epic, right? Poets were well respected. Here is Queen Penelope, Odysseus' wife. She hears the singing about the Trojan War, and she comes out and says, Phemius, this one reopens the wound in my heart, makes me long for that matchless man, my husband. Penelope is going to be known for her loyalty to her husband. She is one of the roles of women. She's the archetype. She's the model for how to be a good wife. Telemachus has to scold his mother a bit. Mother, let the bard or poet follow his muse. Poets are not to blame, but the gods who decides men's fate. You should make yourself listen. He tells of others besides Odysseus who lost their lives, never made it home from Troy. So here Telemachus is showing some maturity. You can't be selfish and not listen to these songs. The songs are how the men who sacrificed their lives live on. So we can make some inferences about Telemachus's personality with his words there. Penelope obeys her son and retreats back to her room with her maids. And here we have the suitors snickering. We don't hear quite what they're saying, but they're probably being rude and disrespectful. And here Telemachus is going to try to man up and scold them. Be quiet, you insolent suitors. Let the bard sing, and when he is done, drain your cups and go home. The gods themselves must be teaching you this high and mighty manner, Telemachus. So the suitors don't respect Telemachus. But tell me, who was the stranger? I didn't see him leave. Just an old friend of my father's. And the bell rings for an assembly. Telemachus is going to take Mente's advice and be more of a man by calling the Ithacans together.